Okay. I'm a little different than the other guys. I actually did not prepare for the lecture. The reason was because Moro Nick never ever gave me a real topic. So I decided to do a little bit different. I don't want you guys sitting there boring to death after listening to power lifters, you know, talk about crap. Forget that. Let's talk about something that will help you. During my lectures, I always try to give you practical information about life. For example, Dave was dressing me up back there. Do you guys see Dave's shoes? Gatorade shoes. What a dumbass. But, you know, I always have to talk about Dave. Now, at the beginning, because he didn't give me any subject, I wanted to talk about things that are out there that you guys I know are reading about. One of them is vegetarian diets. I have a huge fat lecture, and I will let you guys choose what you want me to do. Do you want me guys to pick my topic, or you guys want to hear about fat? Which one do you guys want? You guys are quiet. It's up to you. I can go fast, so I'm going to talk first, and if you guys want to listen to the fat lecture, I can go through it too. But the first one I want to talk about is vegetarians, okay? The reason I want to talk about vegetarians is because I hate them. Vegetarians are people that die sooner than meat eaters, okay? Now, I'm not telling you this because, oh, you know, I believe on that. I will give you always research to back what I'm going to say, and I also give you experience. In my practice, I see a lot of foreigners and a lot of people that come from India are actually vegetarians. 99.9% of them are diabetics or have depression or have some type. Now, there are vegetarians that are healthy, and what I want to say is a maximum spectrum of nutrition. And when I say maximum spectrum of nutrition, it's because there's people that do respond to vegetarian diets, and there's people that do not respond to vegetarian diets. Now, I want to say this about vegetarians. No society ever or culture has survived when they're pure vegetarians. So it is a lie. Don't believe that vegetarians live longer. It is not true. No paper in science or research says, oh, they live longer. No, there's no paper that said that. We have not been living long enough to say that. Now, there's a group of vegetarians that they do live longer, but they're a very religious group of vegetarians. So is it the vegetarianism or is it the support? Now, the way we're made of in our life, physiology is really, really important for you to know what happens. Most vegetables have cell wall, right? It's fiber. It's made out of something called cellulose. Cellulose is a fibrous material that surrounds every plant. We do not have an enzyme called cellulase. That's why you can buy a supplement that has cellulase, or you can add stuff to it. Now, when we chew it, we break some of that cellulose by mechanical, not chemical, mechanical action into it. Okay? And when we do that, we actually are able to break some of that fiber that we still will not use unless we have bacteria in our gut. And that brings me to the second subject, is microbiome or bacteria in your gut. Now, we're finding out that the bacteria in your body is much, much more important than yourself. An example is, if I kill all the bacteria in your gut or your intestine, you will die. You will die. Doesn't matter what food I give you, doesn't matter what supplements I give you, you will die. I want to express how important this is, and I want to show it this way. If I have a grape, a dog, and a human, the grape has 39,000 to 42,000 genes. How much does a dog and a human have? The dog has about 25,000. The human has how many? About 25,000. 25,442. So how can we have less genes than a grape? The grape's a little round, you know, powerlifters like to look like that. Shaved head, they look like a grape, right? I mean, look at Nick, look at Dave. We're Coach Watts. Purple, great, I agree. But the reason is because we have 300,000 genes in our intestines. And those genes control all the other genes. That's how microbiome is so important. Now, it is to the extent that now they are writing papers in psychiatry controlling depression by controlling the microbiome. For example, a recent paper done in 2017 showed that 48 patients given probiotics or bacteria, their response to the probiotics was 61%, meaning there was a 61% decrease on the depression. It is pretty impressive. Now, what changes the microbiome? Exercise, sex, food, environment, everything. So we need to be aware of that. Now, what touches the microbiome the most is the food we eat. So that's why it's so important to eat good. Now, I want you guys to consider that the largest immune system, it is not anywhere but inside your gut. 3 things touches the outside world, your body. What are those 3 things? Food, right? What we eat. So the intestines, the things that land in our skin, like water, shampoo, hair, whatever. Okay, and what's the other one? The air that we breathe. But the largest and most important area is your intestines. I want you to remember that. And what touches that the most is our food. Those shampoos, those things that the girls spray on their heads to look pretty for us, does that affect their health? It does. I have 2 cases in my office in which boys came with nipples. I want to say nipples, they're gross here. They came with big breasts, right? And no, you guys I think I'm making it up. These 2 boys have seen all the doctors and they have large breasts. And guess what it was? It was their shampoo they were using. Actual shampoo. They were using a body soap or whatever the hell it was, I can remember. And then when we stopped that, their breasts went away. The reason was because the chemicals were estrogenic and they were being absorbed through the skin. In research, in the literature, there have been 4 to 17 cases of things like that. So I want you guys to be aware of that. Next topic really fast. Fasting, fasting, fasting. Have you guys heard of that? Fasting is the end now. When was the first documented fasting? You guys know? Jesus Christ. He fasted for 40 days, right? Very impressive because he did something that you guys are not aware of. It's called dry fasting. You guys know what that is? Dry fasting? That's when you don't drink water or eat food. You do it for a certain amount of time. They tell you that if you go without water for 3 days, you die, or for 4 days, they lie. I had dumb people in my office that listen to what I say. They're dumber than I am, and they do what I say. And I said, I want to try dry fasting. Believe it or not, dry fasting is very hard. The 3rd day is the hardest. The 3rd day is the hardest. I have been done enough for me to try it, you know? And I got a headache, and I feel like I feel like crap. And by the 4th day, I'm like, wow, energy super high. You know, I can think, no joint pains. It's pretty impressive what you can do. Now, can I continue? No. I cannot continue because I want to drink fluids. Now, what's the longest documented fasting that you can think you can do? Anybody has any idea? And I'm going to start pointing fingers, so you got to come with an answer. What's the longest fasting documented ever?
21 days.
21 days? Anybody else?
It was like a year. It was like this guy was like medically supervised.
382 days. The longest documented fasting ever. Well done. I have a surprise for you then. Okay?
I've never won anything. I appreciate you right now.
Nick, he has to get a book that I will send it to him. Okay. The reason is, this guy weighed 485 pounds. At the beginning of that time, he had asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes, all of them on control. At the end of those 382 days, by the way, he was taking 9 different medications. At the end of those 382 days, the guy had no diseases, none. He didn't need any medications. Okay, follow-up, he weighed 184 pounds. After 2 years of follow-up, he still didn't have gained the weight back, and he still had no medications. So fasting is excellent. Now, there are different ways of fasting. There's 12-hour fasting, there's 18-hour fasting. There are many fasting. There's something that I call amino acid fasting. I use amino acid fasting. It's a way that I give clients amino acids because they're going to get married. And they come with their fat asses come to me. Oh, I'm getting married in 4 weeks. I know God. I know Jesus. I only have 4 weeks to go what? And I'm not making this up. Example, 27-year-old female comes to me. I gotta go look good for my wedding. Well, she bought a dress that didn't fit her. I don't know how she put her boobs in there, but she did. And she said, I need to lose 26 pounds. Okay? I only have, how many weeks did I say? 4 weeks. 2 ways to do that. I suture your mouth closed and I tie you to the back of my truck and put you in a rope. Okay? Or I do amino acid fasting. She decided to go the easy route, amino acid fasting. She lost 28 pounds. It can be done, but it's hard to do. So fasting is absolutely an amazing thing to do. It helps with diseases, it helps with joints, it helps with a lot of things. I highly, highly recommend it. Do I do it? Yes, I do it myself. Okay, I like to fast at least 3 times a week, and it helps me health-wise. I'm freaking old. I'm older than Dave Tay looks way older than I am, but I'm way older than he is. Okay, so I just want to tell you guys that. Now, any questions so far? Yes, sir.
So what's the, like, actually, when you fast, what's the physiological response for the body? What actually happens? Like,
Okay. Fasting, the question was, and let me repeat it, what is the response, physiological response with fasting? First of all, it takes, depending on the person, fasting is different for everybody. The heavier you are, the faster you will start burning fat because you have extra fuel. The leaner you are, it takes a little longer, unless you're very active, because activity will increase the burning. Everybody has a different capability of ketosis or ketones in your blood. Now, let me bring this up. If you are going fasting to get into ketosis, and I will talk about ketogenic diet in a second, because you want to burn fat and you're fasting on purpose, and you take supplemental ketones, for example, calcium, whatever ketone, you're not going to be in ketones that you're using your body on, so you're going to be using the ketones that you're giving your body. You're not going to lose the fat that you want to lose. So do not do that. Now, if you want to do it for performance, it's a whole total different subject. Now, what is the response? The body will start using first proteins, actually. It doesn't use fat like people tell you. The body will start burning proteins first. Why? Because it requires what in the body? It requires proteins in the body. So when you're not feeding the body, you say, I'm going to break a little bit of protein. So yes, you initially will break some proteins. Then the fat starts burning, and depending on the amount of days that you go without eating, it starts mobilizing that fat. Now, the brain does not like to use fat. Let me repeat that. That's a myth. The brain does not like to use fat, but the brain will use ketones or sugars or carbohydrates. Let me repeat that. Fat and ketones are not the same, but the ketones come from fat. Got it? So I want you guys to understand that. The brain can use ketones and it can use carbohydrate as energy source. A rule for you guys. I want you guys to also learn this. If my sugars are 100, the brain will use 60% of the sugar of your blood. So if my sugar is 100, we use 60. If my sugar is 200, we use 120. If my sugar is 300, 180. That's when you are eating crap over and over and over. Your brain gets used to what? High levels of sugar to the brain. What happens when we stop eating carbohydrates? How do you feel? Like shit. Because now your brain has to what? Doesn't have that 60% that it used to have. That's why people that have sugars up and down are worse than people that have high sugars all the time. Now, how do I know that I have issue with sugars? This is a really answer. If you guys look at everybody next to you, and I want you guys to have a teamwork here, you guys go and look at each other's neck, behind your neck, okay, and if you guys see wrinkles on the back of your neck, you are going to be a diabetic person if you don't change the way you are. You guys don't believe me. I am 55 years old. I'm going to be 56 years old. I don't have one wrinkle on the back of my neck. Now, if you look at people, I'm not lying. You guys think I'm kidding. Go look. Look around. There's going to be people that are under 20s here that will have wrinkles behind their neck. You guys don't believe me? Look around, and you guys will see wrinkles, believe it or not. Okay, that means that the sugars are binding to the glycine and the proline of your skin. Okay? Which one is the most abundant protein in your body? You guys that drink protein shakes and all that bullshit. Which one is the most abundant protein in the body? I know. Where's Matt? Matt, where are you? During deep shit, which one is the most abundant protein in the body? What? Most abundant protein in the body. He doesn't know shit. He's an engineer. Collagen. Okay? Collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. So it's very important for the body to maintain that. Collagen is amazing because it prevents the breakdown of your skin. Collagen makes girls look pretty when they're not pretty. Well, alcohol does that too, but collagen makes you look pretty. Okay? It is a great supplement. Now, do I want to use protein supplements all the time? Absolutely no. I want you guys to know, I want you guys to answer this question. Which food in nature has protein without fat? Give me the one sample. Which food has protein without fat? Give me the one sample. Absolutely, it doesn't exist. You bunch of morons. Doesn't exist. If God intended you to have freaking proteins without fat, He would have invented it. But He didn't. So the reason why God put proteins and fat together was to slow down enough the digestion of your food so you can break down those proteins so you can use it for what you need to use it. So when you have your little protein shake, man, you're so dumb. Listen, I can make money selling you. I invented protein shakes for companies, even though I didn't want to, because I don't want my kids to take them. Why? Because it affects your system. The most common, and I will say this, I have seen in the last 5 years, the increase in Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, or what I will call inflammatory bowel disease. It is 100% always either fitness, bodybuilder, or some type of exercise freak. Of course, my practice is a little different because you can say, well, you see a lot of athletes. And I say, yes, it is true, but I do see a lot of normal persons. I did OB for 9 years, so I have people who have been following me all their life, and those people do not get ulcerative colitis. And one of the most common things is protein things, protein shakes. That's different than amino acids. Now, if you're going to use any protein sources, make sure that you change them or add fat to it. Let me repeat that. If you're using a protein shake, either change it, don't use the same one over and over and over, or add fat to it. Now, another thing. If I want to gain weight, I'm going to give you two things right here. 5 almonds. Oh, wait a second. I got to ask this question. Because protein shakes. Who drinks almond milk here? Okay. I have 4 victims that drink almond milk here. Okay. If I have a container this big of almond milk, how many almonds are in that container? How many? A couple? Shit, that's cheap ass almond milk. I went to the manufacturing company. 12. Don't believe me? Look it up. Now, when you go to a store and you're going to buy almonds, how pretty are they? Really pretty, right? Or they have the skin. They look amazing on that. What do you think they used to put in the almond milk? The shitty, moldy, cracked, all screw up almonds. Because they cannot sell them. So they had to make the almond milk. So don't buy almond milk. That's right. If God wanted you to drink almond milk, why would God give you the almonds? Titties. He didn't. Okay. Now, let's move to the next subject. Any questions so far? Any questions? Yes, sir.
I'm curious about your I mean, maybe you don't want to tell this, but you said the amino acid fast. What does that kind of look like?
Okay, the question is, he's curious about my amino acid fast. I do not believe in protein shakes because they have to be broken down. Some of the people here do not have a good digestive system. Now, I have seen blood pressure go down, I've seen asthma go away by just eliminating protein shakes. But on people that they said, I do not want to not eat, I will do what is called an amino acid fasting. I will use free-form amino acids, okay? And what I do is, I tell the person is, listen, you do not have to eat, but for the next 3 to 4 days, you're gonna consume amino acids, free-form aminos. I use muscle synthesis. I make money selling that though, but there are two other brands, but I will use that one. And the reason is it gives you the essential amino acids, and I will make them do 3 or 4 times a day. To that, the last 2 amino acid drinks, I will add fat to it, but not because amino acids require fat to be broken down for satiety purposes. So I will add bacon to your food, or I will add heavy whipping cream, something to satisfy you. Some people ask me what I eat, and I know Matt has been at my house, and the pregnant woman next to him has been at my house. My coffee is different than most of your coffee. My coffee, you guys will shit bricks when I tell you, okay? My cup is like that big, right? And I put that much heavy whipping cream. You guys know what heavy whipping cream is, right? Fat, right? And I take half a stick of butter, and I cut it up, and I put it in there. And then I dump my coffee, and I mix it. That's my coffee in the morning. Is that true or no? Okay? Why? It tastes like freaking ice cream. It's amazing, and it wakes me up and it fills me up because I put that much fat. My diet is about 50 to 60% fat. The rest is protein and some carbs. So I do not really consume that many carbs. Now, for those people that want to eat low carbs, I'm talking to boys now, not to females here. If you're going to low carbohydrate diet all the time, your PP does not work. How do I know that? Experience. Okay, so you're in a low carbohydrate diet all the time. I used to be the guy that used to say, you need to be in a low carbohydrate diet. You need to be in a low carbohydrate, until I was in a low carbohydrate for 24 days. And then you go to the bathroom and you need a fishing pole to get it up. You know something is not right. So you want to add some carbohydrates here and there. Makes a major difference. No fishing pole needed, makes a major difference. So I just want to tell you that you do require carbohydrates here and there. Now, which one is the best diet? The best diet is the one that you're not on. And by that I mean you need to change your diet. Do never use the same diet over and over and over. Change it. And what I mean by that, I mean eventually you have to do something to that diet. Either add more carbs, lower fat, add more protein, do something within a 14-day period. Okay, so you can eat your diet for 14 days, but that 15, 16 days, do something to it. That's what happens to people that eat the same amount of calories all the time. Same amount, 1,000, I'm going to lose weight, 1,000. Then you don't lose weight. Why? Because the body adapts to it. It's like working out. Chrono digestion, chrono nutrition. You must change your nutrition. Remember that. Now, nutrition is dependent on many things. Age, sex, genetics, environment, religion. All those things. I have a whole list. Depending on that, then I decide what I want to do with your diet or your nutrition. The most important thing for me when you come to my office is disease state. And by that I mean, if you have diabetes, I don't want to give you carbs. I don't care what they tell you, I do not want to give you carbs with diabetes. If you have something called maple syrup syndrome, you guys know what that is? Haley, you better know what that is. Maple syrup syndrome. Maple syrup syndrome is when you have a disease that you cannot digest proteins. So if you tell that person, you give protein to that person, that will die. So remember that. There's a condition called protein enterocolitis, in which you give proteins to that person, they can die. So no, not everybody should be in a high protein diet. No, everybody should be in a low carbohydrate diet. There are all different things out there. I'm lucky enough to have seen it and learned through patients. Okay? Questions so far about everything? Any of that? Yes, sir.
You talked about bacteria.
Yes. Okay, the question was, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said that I recommend probiotics. Is there a specific brand that I would recommend?
And or you're saying you should take them?
Okay, should you take them? Let me say this. The science of probiotics is in the infancy. It's just starting to grow now. Do I believe in probiotics? Yes, I believe on certain places to give them to you. And I will use different brands because it depends on what the condition is. Now, the best answer for me to give you will be, I prefer you to eat foods that have higher content of bacteria, like fermented sauerkraut, yogurt, things like that. and then if you have a condition, then I will add something to that. Kombucha. Now, if you have a condition, this is another one. If you have a condition in which you have high histamine levels, then you cannot eat fermented foods. So you see what I'm saying? So there are times and places. Now, if I have a choice, if I have a person that having a lot of issue with the bowels, and I change their diet, then I might have probiotics because they might be affected. I have a rule in my office. I have to call the 6 R's. Okay? Remove, repair, replace, reinoculate, recheck, and reintroduce. Okay? Those are my guidelines. The reason I have those guidelines is because it allows me to fix 80% of the issues in the office. Believe it or not, with diet. Remove what's causing the problem. If you're drinking protein shakes and you get bloated and you fart, well, let's start with the most obvious reason. Get the protein shakes out. Okay? Repair. Okay, when I say repair, I want to repair your intestines. They're having issues, and you repair that. Glutamine, for example, you remember glutamine that people use? It helps a lot. Arrowroot, aloe vera, things like that. Colostrum will help you repair. Okay, replace. Before I will do probiotics, I will replace. And by replace, I mean I will replace enzymes, digestive enzymes. Now, when there's another famous line out there, raw foods, right? Eat raw foods. Well, if you eat raw broccoli, you will shit your pants. And so people, but that depends. So no, not everybody can eat raw food. But when you eat some raw foods, it contains enzymes in it that it helps you digest your food. For example, pineapple. Sometimes steaks, and you follow with fruit pineapple, it will help you digest the steak, believe it or not. Things like that. So it all totally depends. Then reinoculate. Then once I repair or replace those enzymes, then I will give you some bacteria. Then I will recheck you. Then I say, come back. How are you feeling? You feel good? Yes. Then we're on the right pathway. But because we remove stuff that you like, I might want to reintroduce it, but I want to reintroduce it once a week. If I eat pizza, I have no pains anywhere. If I eat pizza, I can barely, I feel like a 55-year-old guy. I can barely move out of the bed. My spine kills me. It kills so bad that I have to roll out the bed, believe it or not. And pizza, damn it, is my favorite freaking scrappy ass food that I like to eat, but I can't. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's a huge difference. Now, I want to bring one more point. If I have 5 almonds here, and I have 5 almonds here on peanut butter, I mean on almond butter. There's 5,000 calories here, 5,000 calories here. This is for girls, because girls like to talk crap about calories, right? So 5 almonds here, each one is 1,000 calories. 5 almonds here, but they're melted in butter, right? You know, they're in butter. I grind it to make butter. They're 5,000 calories. Are they different? No, on calories, right? Which one will make you gain weight and which one will make you lose weight? Gain weight with the almond butter, lose weight with the almonds. Absolutely correct. Why?
Because it's already been processed, all the nutrients are stripped
I
out.
like this lady, say it louder.
All the nutrients have been stripped out because the almond butter has been processed rather than leaving it as a whole food where your body can do what it's supposed to do with it. And
She's correct and incorrect. They did not remove it because I grinded the almonds. I did not remove it. What happened is when you grind the almonds, have you seen how the fat comes to the top? Have you guys seen that? The reason you lyophilize the fat, so it came separated. So now it's easily digested. Now it's easily absorbed. So it will be. But if you chew the 5 almonds, it's impossible for you to do that. So yes, she's correct. Even though they're equal on calories, this one will make you. So calories are no freaking calories. If I give you 100 calories of broccoli, and I give you 100 calories of Lucky Charms, who's going to be a fat ass? People on the left. So, if you go to a dietitian and tells you all you need is calories, what are you going to tell them? Get up and walk away, because she don't know shit what she's talking about. Okay? How long do I have, Nick? 10? Okay. Any questions or anything so far? Yes?
I don't know if you mentioned it yet, but you spoke about your pizza reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about food allergies?
Okay, the question is, I talk about pizza reaction, can I talk about food allergies? In my office, I have people that have tried every single diet. As soon as I do a food allergy test, absolutely the weight melts away. Physicians, doctors, nurses do not believe on food allergies. Because when you go to a food allergist, they do a test. And the test is to poke and prod your skin with needles. Right? Have anybody had a food allergy test here? Well, I used to be a cowboy. They give me $800. You sneeze on my outfit, you have food allergies. I'm going to poke you. If you fart on my outfit, you have food allergies, I'm going to poke you. Why? Because they gave you that much money. But when you do 200, 300 of those, and the relationship between symptoms and poking your skin does not make sense, then is the test wrong? I'm wrong. Both of us are wrong because I'm using a test that is absolutely not truly a true test for allergy. The only thing that is good that test is for anaphylactic reactions. You have anaphylactic reaction, the skin test is absolutely a must to do. Now, doctors do not believe in food allergies, and a food allergy to become chronic has to become something dependent on what is called IgG. It's a special protein that binds to that food and it will create symptoms. So I highly, highly believe on food allergies, and yes, I will test people with food allergies. I have seen behavior in children completely go away by doing a food allergy test. I've seen people get asthma away. I have a kid that when I met him, he was 9 years old. He has missed a year of school. He was taking 17 different medications, severe asthma. They told the mother that if he doesn't become or stays on prednisone for the rest of his life, he will die. This kid now is 22 years old. He played football for OU. He's my patient. The deal we worked out that he'll come and work out at my house. He did what I did. All I did was a food allergy test, change his diet, 0 medications. Now, that kid, if he eats pizza, he gets massively short of breath. Okay? Questions? Go ahead, sir.
Can you talk about how faith affects the human body some more?
The what?
How faith affects the human body some more?
The faith?
Yeah, I know you talked about the state of the nuns.
Okay. This is a hard topic. The question is, how does faith affect the human body? If I had to pick one medicine for me to fix, and I would say I will fix 90% of every single problem in my office, will be stress. Okay? You either, and I know you guys think I will stress in a simplified way. Stress for me consists of 7 different stresses. Genetic stress, okay? Physical stress, and genetic means like mutations. Physical stress means physical abuse or physical training. It's a stress, correct? Every time you train, it's a stress. What else? Economical stress. You have no money to do things, or you need to work for that money. Social stress. If you're married, you have children. We're going to talk about vampires, okay? You have a boyfriend. Chemical stress. The chemical stress is what? Nutrition. Food is a chemistry. If you have toxins, lead, mercury, that's chemistry. Environment. I live in a freaking Ohio. I'm brown skinned. You guys see that? So that sucks. I'm not used to the cold weather. I need to wear 2 sets of underwear to keep myself warm, okay? So this is not my environment. I was not born there, and the last one is religion. Now, of all those, religion basically affects every single one of them. Now, most people think our religion belonging to a church. I do not classify religion belonging to a church. I classify religion as believing to something up higher than you are, something divine. Okay? So you go to my office and you don't go to church. My dad didn't go to church, but he was a mighty religious person. Okay? Because he had a high belief. Does it affects every single one of them? Absolutely. I've seen people that I think that I cannot fix at all. I said, you know, I'll work with you. We're going to work together. And those people get better. Was it because what I did? No. Is it because they have faith? Yes. Okay? So yes, it makes a huge, huge difference. Okay, there was one. Yes.
You mentioned changing the diet every 14 days and different sources of protein, things
Yes.
like that. Do you try to get different sources of fat? Like in the morning you mentioned butter, heavy cream, but do you experiment with MCT oil or anything
Okay.
like that?
I raise my own food at my house. It's a little bit different. We have our own pigs, cows, and stuff like that. 2 weeks ago, one of my patients brought me 40 pounds of butter. Okay? Why? Because we go through butter like crazy. I try to not change the fats because the fats, okay, I want you guys to learn this. Carbohydrates and proteins elevate insulin, elevate glucagon, or lower glucagon. Fat is the only inert substance that will not affect your sugars. Doesn't raise them, doesn't lower them, but it keeps them where they are. So your sugars are high, the fat will keep it high. But if the sugars are low, the fats will keep it there. So it's kind of the balanced system of the whole body. Got it? So do I change fats? No, because fats are almost hypoallergenic. They do not cause allergies. So you can be allergic to coconut, but you're not allergic to coconut oil. Now, you're allergic to peanuts, you can be allergic to peanut oil because they have peanuts parts in it, not because you're allergic to the oil. So I tend not to change my fat. The only rule that I have for fat, they must always be organic source. Always. And let me explain to you why here real quick. When we inject toxins to animals, the animal has 3 ways to get rid of those toxins. You guys know how they get rid of them. Urine, shitting, sweating. I will change my language, note, or breathing. Okay? So, sorry. Okay? So, those 3 ways. Now, when the body cannot get rid of those toxins, have to be put away somewhere. Where do they put away? In the fat cells. So what do you eat when you buy a food that has been injected with many things? It's not the fat that is bad for you, it's the toxins. And this is a cool study. 2006, they did a study on runners. And they were slightly obese runners, and they picked those, I don't know why, but there were 36 runners. And they divided in 2 groups. I think it's on these slides here. They divided on 2 groups. And one set of runners, they were doing the same exercise, same diet, they controlled that. And one set of runners did not lose weight, so they separated them. Let's put the ones that don't lose weight in this side and the ones that lose weight. And they continued losing weight, but the people that were not losing weight, they did not lose weight. They were getting sick. And they did muscle biopsies, and nothing showed nothing in the muscle. When they did the fat biopsies, the people on this side have very tiny levels of this substance, but the people that were not losing the weight, their fat cells were full of what? You guys know what? Organochlorines, pesticides. They were full of pesticides. So every time the body starts losing fat, what happens when you release the fat? What happens to the toxins? It gets released into your system. The body does not like that. So what does the body tell you? Hell with that. I'm going to stick with that fat because I don't want to release it. So sometimes it's very important for you to lose it slowly. Okay? I hope that answers your question. There's one more question. Who was it? Yes, sir.
So when you're designing a nutrition program for an athlete, do you change anything from a performance-based diet, like health-based diet, or do you think they're one and the same?
Athletes, when they come to my office, they just want to be better. They don't care about their health. So my job is to make sure that they care of their health. I always consider health first, and then I go to performance. I have to sit down. For example, if I'm going to see an athlete, and when I see them, I go through medical history, father and mother history, brother, sister, where they went to school, what kind of diet they had. I go through social history. Are you dating? Are you sleeping around? Are you screwing around, using birth control pills? I go through all those things before I make what I'm going to decide to do. Before I do that, what are your symptoms? And I wanted something that Coach Watts did not say in his lecture. The best strength coach is not the one that makes you stronger, it's the one that fixes your weaknesses. Let me say this. The best strength coach is not the one that makes you stronger, it's the one that fixes your weaknesses. And let me show you this. If I have 3 chain links, right? I have this huge chain links right here. And I got this little chain link joining those 2 chain links. And I make your bench and your squat massive, but your deadlift stays really small. What are the probabilities of that chain link breaking? Higher. You got stronger, you did not get stronger. The chain link got weaker. Dave is an expert on fixing weaknesses. That's why he's a great strength coach. He can make you stronger, that's bullcrap. Dave is a person that said, I do not know, but you need to fix this weakness. Go somewhere or let me look at this. So the best strength coach is the one that makes you not stronger, is the one that fixes your weaknesses. Okay, one more question. No more? Go ahead.
You said something about if you were going to have someone increase muscle mass.
Yes.
And I think you cut yourself off. Where are you going with that?
Okay, if I want to have somebody have increased lean body, let me correct, lean body mass, no weight, because sometimes people don't care of any weight. Lean body mass, the first thing that I will do, I'll almost try to put a level of proteins there. Now, are we talking males or females?
Males.
Males, okay. In males, females, you gotta be really careful, really careful. If you tell a female she's fat, she's never coming back. You tell a guy he's fat, oh, I'm coming back, that ass is not gonna tell me I'm fat. So females are delicate machines, okay? So on a male, I will do 1 gram per pound, and then I will control the fats and the carbohydrates. I do not like to give you set, I like to manipulate when I'm gonna give you fats and carbohydrates. I tend to give you more fats in the morning, okay? And the reason is carbohydrates induce kind of a sleep. If I wanna gain lean body mass, I will consume 80% of the total amount of carbohydrates after my workout and 20% before my workout. The reason I want to do that is because I want to use some to gain weight, but maintain my lean body mass and keep my strength up. But that will depend on body weight and other things, but that's an idea of what I do. Okay? Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I work third shift.
Okay.
About 4 hours a day. I know it's pretty bad, but all you're saying right now, like protein in the morning, whatever, I'm about, is there anything else that you just do the same way?
Okay. This man is screwed up. Okay. No, I was a shift worker because I work in the ER. I did OB, so I want to sleep sometimes. Okay, shift workers get the worst cancer and they get the worst diseases. Why? Because the body is in a circuit. Every species is in a circadian rhythm. Actually, I know that, and I'm going to answer your question in a second here. They tell you to eat 5 to 6 meals. Everybody tells you to eat 5 to 6 meals. Okay, those people are full of crap. Okay, that's a bodybuilding myth because I'm injecting 20 pounds of steroids, so of course you can eat 6 times. The only problem is that it's going to affect your intestines. Our body has something called MMC, moral migratory control or contraction. That means our circadian rhythm has 4 hours. It's not that we pick 8 out of nowhere and 12 and 4 to 6 to eat. It's because the body was meant to do that. And the reason is the liver has these spasms or contractions to release bile. The intestine has big ones every 4 hours. But then we eat snacks in between, and if you have a big wave coming in and you start putting little waves into it, what happens to that big wave? It goes away. It doesn't do what it was supposed to do. So you need to eat maximum 4 times a week. 4 times a day. Do not eat more than 4 times. It's a myth. 5 to 6 times? No. Eat 4 times a day. It will do it. Now, to answer your question, I will use your night shift as what if I was up during the day and the sleep I would do. If you're sleeping during the day, I will do as my night. Now, one recommendation for you, they have shown that people that do night shift has lower vitamin D and lower melatonin levels, higher chance of cancer. I will start 10,000 use of vitamin D now, and I start using melatonin, not to induce sleep, but to protect yourself against cancer. Okay? Any questions? Yes, sir.
You talked about probiotic brands. Which brands do you recommend for what?
Okay. The question is, I talk about probiotic brands. Probiotic brands for me are, I am very strict with probiotics because they need to be alive when they're at home, when you carry them in the car, when you spill them on the floor with the kids and stuff like that. I use different companies. Your doctor can give you a prescription for something called BSL-3. Okay, BSL number 3. Your insurance will pay for that. That's excellent. Now, I don't like to use the same probiotics all the time. I like to switch them. Another big company is called Claire. K-L-A-R-R-E. Claire. It's amazing. Okay? Another company that is awesome is actually that you want to buy over the counter, Jarrow. You guys know Jarrow? They come in individual little packs. That's excellent. I do not like to use the same ones. I like to switch to also to like spores. There's spores. So ICANS, ICANS have a group one too, so you guys can check that out on the internet. Okay? Yes, ma'am. I don't like protein powders. Okay, the question is, I don't like protein powders, but how about collagen peptides? Collagen peptides are a protein powder. Okay, I do not mind you using collagen, but I prefer you to use it maybe twice a week and change to something else. Okay, now the best source of collagen powder or collagen source is bone broth. Take a bunch of bones, put on and cook them, and that is collagen. Bone is not calcium. Bone is 60 to 80% fat. The inside is fat. So when they tell you not to eat fat, because they're dumbasses. They're dumb. They're dumb. The brain is 70%. Well, some people here are 70% fat. Remember that. So some people have waste time there, but yes, I will use it, but be careful. Bone broth actually will give you collagen. Any other questions? Thank you, guys.